She was a legend, a force, a woman who lived and breathed the stage, but Geraldine Page's greatest performance was not in a theater or on screen. It was the act of surviving a brutal, unseen Hollywood blacklist, enduring heartbreak, betrayal, and a decades-long battle to prove her worth. Born in 1924 in the quiet town of Kirksville, Missouri, Geraldine grew up in a world far removed from stardom. When her family moved to Chicago during the Great Depression, she found herself surrounded by art, music, and the early seeds of a passion that would shape her life. At first, acting wasn't her dream. She poured herself into piano and painting, disciplines that would later teach her the endurance she'd need to weather life's storms. It wasn't until a small church play at 17 that Geraldine felt the electrifying pull of the stage. That moment awakened something deep within her, something that music and brushes never could. After high school, she threw herself into summer stock theater, grinding through sleepless nights, low pay, and exhausting rehearsals. She checked coats, modeled lingerie, folded shirts, and toiled in factories just to make ends meet. Still, her talent began to shine, and slowly, critics started to notice the girl with the soulful eyes and unshakable presence. When she finally made it to New York in 1950, she had nothing but dreams and rejection letters, but Geraldine didn't quit. She studied under acting legends like Uta Hagen and Lee Strasberg, learning to reach deep into her soul to find truth in every character. Her breakthrough came in 1952 with a role in Tennessee Williams' Summer and Smoke. Critics called her performance magic. Off-Broadway was never the same again. Geraldine had redefined it and herself. She became the first actor to win the New York Drama Critics Award for an off-Broadway role, challenging the very idea that greatness could only live on the big stage. But just as her film career was taking off, Hollywood turned its back on her. Not because of anything she said or did, but simply because she had studied with Uta Hagen, an acting coach with leftist ties. That association was enough. The blacklist didn't need proof, just paranoia. Her name vanished from casting calls. Her phone stopped ringing, and no one dared to tell her why. For 8 long years, Geraldine was shut out of the film world in her prime. While others rose, she stood still, brilliant, but invisible. She found refuge on stage, where she delivered some of her most breathtaking performances, refusing to let the industry's silence define her. Her resilience paid off when she returned to film in 1961 Summer and Smoke, but the years of exile had already stolen what could have been her golden era on screen. Still, she kept pushing forward. Her performance in Sweet Bird of Youth was so raw and unforgettable that it earned her both a Tony nomination and an Oscar nod. She based the character on silent film star Norma Talmadge, a woman whose fame vanished with the arrival of sound. Geraldine knew that pain, that loss, and she brought it to life on stage. Her personal life mirrored her complex roles. She married twice, first to famed violinist Alexander Schneider, and later to actor Rip Torn. Her relationship with Torn was passionate and chaotic, especially when he began an affair with actress Amy Wright. Geraldine refused to divorce him, even when he had a child with Wright. They remained legally married until her death, a stubborn testament to either devotion or defiance. At one point, Geraldine and Amy Wright even acted together on stage under Torn's direction, a real-life drama filled with silent tension and unspoken pain. Through all this, Geraldine remained committed to her craft. Over 3 decades, she earned 7 Oscar nominations without a win. Hollywood began to label her the biggest Oscar loser, a cruel title for a woman who had given everything to her art, but she never stopped believing in herself. "If you don't tell anybody," she once joked, "I thought I should have one every time. I'm my biggest fan." That quiet confidence kept her going, even when the spotlight dimmed. Then, finally, in 1986, everything changed. Geraldine Page, now 61, was nominated a record 8th time for her haunting performance in The Trip to Bountiful. When F. Murray Abraham opened the envelope and announced her name, he added, "The greatest actress in the English language." The room erupted in a standing ovation. She wept, she trembled. She held that golden statue like a lifeline. She had waited 33 years. And now, her moment had come. Just over a year later, in June 1987, Geraldine missed a Broadway performance. For the first time, her son found her lifeless in her apartment. She was only 62. She had been quietly battling serious health issues, kidney disease, high blood pressure, but never let it stop her from giving everything on stage. Her death sent shockwaves through the theater world. Just 6 days after the Tony Awards, she was gone. Yet, even in death, Geraldine Page left a legacy that couldn't be erased. She was a woman who stood tall against injustice, who transformed pain into performance, and who proved that true greatness can never be blacklisted. She was more than an actress. She was a warrior of the stage, and her story still echoes, as powerful as the applause that once carried her off into history.